Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with this look right here. I was actually getting ready for work and I was like, why not just sit down and film? Get ready with me. I mean, I work for MAC Cosmetics, as many of you know, so I'm able to do super extra looks like this without being like absolutely ridiculous. So I was like, why not film the super extra look that I'm doing today and just kind of talk to you guys and hang out with you guys. So grab a snack, grab a drink, because I feel like when I normally do these videos, they come out super long. But if you guys are interested in getting to know some of my favorite products at the moment and just why I love working for MAC, then definitely keep on watching. Hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button though before we go anywhere so you can be notified when I do upload. And if you guys do happen to like this look and you want to know how I got it, then just keep watching. Love you guys. Alright, I always start off the video literally looking like a troll because I always have my brows on and no other makeup, and I legit just look like a scary ogre. But by the end of this video, this face shall be transformed. So the brow pencil that I've been loving a lot lately is the Precisely My Brow by Benefit. Now, I don't know why I've never tried this before, but so far I'm really liking it. I got it in the shade number 6, I believe it's soft black, but I just like how like fine the pencil is, and like you can really get those feathery brow strokes. And then also my skin is already prepped and moisturized. So today I actually used something beside coconut oil to hydrate my skin. Y'all, I'm really proud of myself. So I recently picked up the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Pure Mineral Sunscreen Moisturizer. It looks like this, and so far I'm really liking it. I like that it hydrates the skin without feeling like really sticky or heavy. And before, whenever I use moisturizers, I used to notice that like my skin would just get way too oily throughout the day and just get really shiny on my nose and break apart. So far with this, I haven't noticed that at all. If anything, I feel like my foundation and everything is sitting on my skin a lot smoother because my skin was getting a little bit more dry, especially like in this time of year. So nothing was sitting on nice, but this has definitely helped. I also love the fact that it has SPF 40 because I'm trying to get wrinkles. And then as always, I use my Kiehl's Creamy Eye Treatment, the avocado one. Love this stuff. I just lathered that all over my eyes. So for primer, I've actually been liking this P. Louise eye base. I just noticed that with it and with any primer in my eye type, in my skin type, because I feel like I have drier eyelids, that I just need to make sure I hydrate my eyelids good before applying it, or it kind of like clings to any dry patches. But so I'm actually getting ready for work. I'm sure as a lot of you guys know, I work for MAC. I've been with MAC for about, it's going on 2 years now, and I really like it. It's fun. It's definitely a great brand to work for. I feel like I don't think I could ever work for any other cosmetics brand now that I've worked with MAC for so long, because it is a really good company to work for, and I like my job. I enjoy what I do. And then I'm just gonna set my eye area with some transparent powder. Sometimes I just work straight off the base when it's like still tacky, but lately, I don't know, I like at least just setting my crease very lightly just because it makes it foolproof, so I don't have to worry about like perfect blending. All right. So the palettes that I've been finding myself grabbing toward the most lately are actually these three. So the Jaclyn Hill palette, which I feel like everybody grabs for, or at least I do, because it has literally everything. The Huda Beauty palette, you guys saw in my last video. I really like it. And I actually recently rediscovered my Soft Glam palette. Now, as you can see, this looks really ratchet, but it still works the same. So I've been loving these tones lately too. So I'm gonna kind of work from these palettes. So I'm gonna start off with Orange Soda and the Soft Glam palette, just because I've been really loving that as my transition color. So I used to be obsessed with Makeup Geek Peach Smoothie. I still am. I just ran out and have yet to repurchase it, but this really reminds me of that. So I love just using this as that transition shade. Even if I'm doing a really cool tone look, I love having that warmth just kind of peek through everything, and it just ties it all together really nice. I'm gonna bring this up into the top part of my brow. So yeah, I think the thing I like most about working for MAC too is that you work with a bunch of other really talented makeup artists too. So like we're always, or at least we're always talking about like different techniques and stuff, and like, what do you have on? How did you blend that out? So I feel like it makes you grow into like such a stronger artist. And I feel like that would be true like of any makeup brand if you know, are interested. If you're young and you know, you want like a job or something to pay through school and you're interested in learning and growing in makeup, I definitely feel that like working for MAC or any sort of cosmetics line will help you grow, because you're working most of the time with other talented artists that you can kind of learn from, get advice from, you inspire each other. And then you're also working on different clients all the time, different eye shapes, different eye colors, different skin tones. And like that alone will help you grow so much. Because it's one thing to learn and know how to do makeup on yourself and make yourself look good. It's a whole other like technique and talent learning on how to make other people look good. And knowing, you know, where to place shadows to complement their eye shape, or what tones to use to complement their eye color. Like it kind of gets redundant when you're working on your face every single day. So it's always fun like when I get like a whole different skin tone than me, somebody with very rich, warm skin, or when I get to play with like blue or green eyes and just really use colors to make their eyes pop. So I feel like that's what's the most fun for me. It's like getting to switch my canvas. It's funny because I remember when I first started working for a cosmetics brand, I used to work for Lancome, and I was like 18. I just graduated high school. I just needed a little job on the side, and we had a variety of clients. So we had like some really mature customers that were like in their 70s, 80s, and then we had obviously customers like in their 30s, 20s. But I used to do everyone's makeup the way I did mine. So like I legit try to do like a wing liner on like an 85-year-old woman with like, you know, more mature eyelids. So obviously I learned real quick that like you can't just do the same techniques you do on yourself on everybody. Like everybody has different eye shapes and traits, and it's fun to just kind of like celebrate that and just use stuff that'll complement them and make them look absolutely stunning. So then next in the crease, I'm going to be taking Uninterrupted by MAC. It's like a beautiful like mustardy brown. It's kind of similar to this shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette, but I feel like it has a little bit more of like a greeny undertone, if that makes sense. I love this color. And then I'm just gonna like pat it in my crease to really deposit all that color first. So lately I've been loving these more like mustardy brown eye looks with like a nice gold in the lid. Ooh, I think I know what kind of look I'm going for today. I just got inspired. It's crazy. Sometimes like you start your makeup thinking you're going in one direction, and then all of a sudden like something pops in your head and you're like, we're taking this a different route. But yeah, it's crazy because I think I look at my makeup journey of like me when I first got into makeup, even my first couple years on YouTube. I mean, like, I'm a self-taught makeup artist, you know? I learned from just watching videos and practicing on myself and practicing on other people. And I was into makeup for about like 6 years, and I had learned and evolved a lot. But it's crazy how like the 2 years that I've been with MAC and just like having more appointments, again, working with more artists, it's crazy how much I evolved in just 2 years and how much I learned versus like the however many years before I started. I think it was like 4 years that I had been doing makeup before I started working for MAC. So it's like I feel like I evolved and grew even more than like those years prior to working for the brand. It's like you really become a much stronger makeup artist. And I know that like MAC has had some MACs have had a bad rap for like customer service and stuff. But like me personally and the counters that I've worked for, like we've always gone out of our way to kind of like break that stigma and like really treat, you know, everybody fairly and nice, and just try to give the best customer service we possibly can, and not be those like stuck up MAC girls that I feel like people associated the brand with for so long. And I feel like that stigma is slowly kind of trickling away, but you know, there'll always be those bad apples that kind of outweigh the good ones, and like those are the ones that you normally hear about. But that's definitely not what I stand for. I think in general, whether you're working or not, you just shouldn't treat people rude. You should always just be nice to people. there's too much going on in the world, too much bad. Like, we don't need to add bad and negativity in unnecessary places for no reason. Like, just be nice. Everyone's going through something. You never know what somebody's day was like. You never know what news somebody just got. And so you just have to be nice. But I'm gonna take this shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette right here, and I'm just gonna pat that on this outer corner here. Story time, just so that you're alert no matter where you go. The other day I was at the mall just picking some stuff up from Sephora, and I noticed a guy literally following me. Like, it was obvious. I was literally like, he followed me into Sephora and just kind of sat there. And I was in there for a good like 20 minutes. Just watching stuff, like figuring out some stuff to get. That was actually when I was picking up the moisturizer and like the new brow pencil. So I'm just like swatching stuff, like taking my time. I was in there for a good while. Like, I literally circled the whole store probably like 2 or 3 times, just like seeing what I wanted to get, trying stuff out. And he was just kind of sitting there. Like, I didn't know if he was with somebody or not, but then I realized he wasn't. And literally right when I checked off, like, I'm not kidding you, 20, 25 minutes later, he gets up and starts like following me out. And so like, there's a clear glass window and I see him stand there and stare at me for a second to see where I'm going. So I look right at him, like making it known, like, what the heck are you doing? Just kind of stops there, and then I start walking and I look back and realize he starts following me the same direction I'm walking. And so I make eye contact with him again and give him like this look, like, don't freaking try me, I will kill you. This is not the one to like try to creep on. Then I went the other direction. I started walking like really fast, kind of like going all over the place, so it'd be harder to follow. I call my husband and I'm like, hey, I think someone's following me. I shared my like location with him just in case anything happened. So like, it was scary. Kept walking, my heart was racing. Eventually I think I obviously lost the guy because I no longer saw him following me, but I was still so paranoid. So ladies, I'm just letting you know, like, if you're at the mall alone, if you're doing shopping, always be aware of your surroundings. Never walk to your car without your keys in your hand. Hold them in your hand like this, just in case anybody tries to come after you. Boom, it's a weapon. But like, I'm telling you, like, for your own safety, it's a disgusting world out there. And it doesn't matter how old you are, what you look like, you can easily be a target. So just always be aware of your surroundings. And that was literally like not even that far from my house. It was a mall like probably like 15 minutes away. So it has me like really freaked out to go anywhere on my own now, which is pretty like sad. Next, I'm taking the black in the Jaclyn Hill palette and a flat shader brush, and I'm just gonna stamp that along my lash line. Taking the brush with that leftover brown, and I'll just kind of stamp the edges. So I'm gonna take a little bit more of that P. Louise eyeshadow. Esta es mi brocha de corrector. Guys, I really want to try to do a makeup tutorial in Spanish. It's gotten a little better over the years, my Spanish. Like, I can understand it perfectly, I just can't speak it the best. I've learned like a bunch of makeup terms because obviously working in retail cosmetics, having a lot of Spanish clients, like, I kind of learned most of the terms-ish. So I kind of want to try to do a makeup tutorial in Spanish. Let me know what you guys would think. I feel like it'd be kind of cool. And it would help me kind of brush up on my Spanish even more. It's really pathetic though. I hate it. Like, I can literally understand everything. So like, growing up, my grandma used to watch me and my cousin over the summer, and like, she would always talk to us in Spanish. But my parents, they've lived here most of their life. Like, my mom came here when she was 2. My dad was born here, but his parents are from Puerto Rico. So they were like more comfortable speaking English. So it wasn't like something commonly spoken in our house, but I understand. It's just like getting the words out can be kind of hard. I'm just gonna stamp this here. But yeah, if that's something you guys want to see, let me know. Crease is cut. I love that. Like that open lid, smoky outer corner. Gives me that cat eye effect since my eyes naturally like droop all the way down here. So it's no secret that me, along with like 95% of the population, love ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadows. Today I'm gonna be using the color Cheap Date all over the lid. This is like such a gorgeous like greeny gold. I have been loving this color lately. Do you guys see how pretty that is? Are you guys witnessing this? Ooh, I kind of got inspired again. I'm gonna take a different shimmer toward like the black over here to blend it in. I think it'll look really nice up against this like greeny gold color. Okay, so once I have most of the color all over, I'm gonna take my finger and just layer it on top just because I feel like the finger will really pack the shimmer on better. But I just like the brush to kind of like get it really precise up against the cut crease. But then below that, I'll just pat some more to give it some more shine. I'm gonna be taking this shade by Makeup Geek. I haven't used it in a while, in the color Havoc. Green, blue, brown. Like, do you guys see that? So I feel like this would really be pretty in that outer region. Blend it in between that lid shade and the crease colors. Ooh, yes. That's pretty. So I feel like another fun thing about like loving makeup and being kind of like a makeup artist, that things are always changing, so you're always learning and growing. For a little bit, I kind of stopped watching YouTube videos, stopped like discovering new people. I just kind of stuck with the same old. But I really like switched it up, discovered some new really talented makeup artists, and it's like kept me really inspired. So you either want to do like a teal or a yellow in this inner corner. I kind of want to do a yellow though to switch it up because I haven't done that in a while. Actually, I haven't done that ever. I'm actually going to take this really old black pigment. This is well expired, but it's in the shade Golden Gleam. Don't judge me. Any sort of yellow tone will work. I'm just going to lightly dip. That is super yellow. I'll risk my eyesight for makeup. Just kidding. Don't ever do that. That. Ooh, yes! That looks good. So we'll come back to the eyes in a second, but for now I'm going to move on to my base. Since my skin a little bit on the drier side right now, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Hangover Primer. Like I said, my skin's more combination, and I like this primer because again, it doesn't make my skin too greasy. It just gives it enough hydration, and then it leaves the skin tacky, so I feel like it gives the foundation something to just like stick to. I'm also going to be using a little bit more of a mattifying foundation today. So I always like using this when I'm using more matte foundations. That way it won't cling to any drier patches since my skin's been kind of funky lately. Alright, so in my last video, I know I kind of like gave this foundation a little bit of a hard time, but I found a way to make it work and I actually have been loving it lately. So I'm going to be using the Catrice 24-Hour Foundation. You guys, I do like this foundation. My last video I was kind of skeptical, but it was because I used the mattifying primer with it. If your skin's on the drier side right now, only use like the Catrice primer. I feel like with more luminous foundations because it'll mattify the skin. I just felt like together it was too matte and it was making my skin too dry. But as long as I use a good moisturizer and a hydrating primer, this foundation is phenomenal. It really does stay on all day, smooths the skin. It has such a high-end look to it. The only downfall is like I said, there's only 6 colors. So lately I've been mixing it and I've been using like more luminous foundations with it, and I love the way it looks like that. So like this, I love it with the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. That's a good combo. I love it with the NARS Longwear Concealer. It keeps it more of like a satin matte. And today I'm going to be trying it with the Born This Way, just because this one's like really dark for me right now, and this one is I mean it matches, but I like a little bit more of a deeper tone to my skin. So I'm going to mix them together and then it'll be like that perfect satin matte finish. Honest, I don't know like who judges foundations, but I don't know why people keep saying this is a matte finish foundation, because on me this is so shiny. Maybe it's just my skin type, but I feel like it's so luminous on me and I'm like, matte what, where? So yeah, I think my skin was just extra dry the day I tried the Catrice foundation on camera. Now another thing I noticed with this is, since it's such a long wearing foundation, you really want to make sure you like clean your skin like probably 3 times, because I noticed when I was using it a couple days in a row, when I was using it a couple days in a row, I noticed my skin starting to get like a little clogged and my pores looking a little filled up. So with any long wear foundation, my skin normally gets like that, so I just recommend really cleansing it, exfoliating it, maybe making sure all of that foundation is gone, because if not, if residue's left over each day, it will clog your pores and you will get breakouts. I recently repurchased the Morphe sponge because my other one got like a little snag on the end. Sorry, this is one I use for powder, so it's looking a little crusty, but I got a little snag on the end, so I repurchased it, and they feel completely different. Like, my new one feels extra firm and rough, which I'm normally not a fan of. So like, I don't know, has anyone else experienced that, where like you got a new sponge and you noticed they were a little bit different? Did I just get like a different kind of sponge? Like, I'm confused. It doesn't feel the same at all. It feels like a whole different sponge. I'm just gonna warm up the skin. I rediscovered my Wet n Wild contour stick. I like forgot how much I love this formula for cream contouring. A lot of cream contouring sticks leave like patchiness or don't blend smooth. This blends amazing, and I've had some like high-end contour sticks. I prefer this one for like $4 over those any day. And I kind of like that I got a color a little bit lighter than the last one I had, because it makes it a little bit like easier to blend and not look so harsh. So this one's in the shade Oaks on You. A nice shade for just lightly contouring the nose without going overboard. And it makes a really good, just kind of like bronzing shade. So I'm just gonna put it, I'm gonna tap it and not swipe it on my cheek. That way it won't move any of my foundation around. But yeah, it just blends really nice. It stays on all day. I also used to have a problem where some contour sticks, like as throughout the day as my oils would come through, they would like start looking patchy. This one doesn't. It really sits really nice throughout the day. Blends really nice. Like, sometimes I just wonder, how do these like cheaper makeup brands do it? Come out with like bomb products for so cheap. The concealer I've been using and grabbing the most lately is the Born This Way concealer. I really like this concealer, especially when I'm using it on top of matte foundations, because it is a little bit more on the creamy side without being too creamy. But again, I can't use this like on top of a luminous foundation. For me, it's all about balance. So like, I can't use too many hydrating products all at once, or my skin, the oily part of it will like just break it apart. But if I use too much matte everywhere, my drier parts don't like that either. So I kind of have to like mix the products, different textures and like different layers. Joys of having bipolar skin. But honestly, I feel like a lot of people's skin type is like that. So just like play around with your makeup. Don't think like, oh, if your skin's oily, you need all matte, because sometimes that can end up drying out your skin and making your skin start producing more oils. So just kind of like play around with products. If you feel like a foundation didn't work, maybe try it with like a different concealer or powder. And sometimes you'd be surprised on how many products you can actually make work for you. Like that Catrice foundation. It looked terrible on me. But then when I, used a more hydrating primer and moisturizer underneath of it, it sits beautifully on the skin. Alright, and then to set the whole face, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I haven't used this in a hot minute, but I rediscovered it and I absolutely love it. So I'm just going to do a light sweep of this all over the skin. Maybe to lock in my foundation longer, I'll take this with like a little powder puff. And what I do is I just lightly dip in, just kind of pat it over everything. And this just helps give my skin like a really smooth velvet finish and really lock in the foundation all day. I used to use powder puffs all the time, like I think back in like 2015, and then I stopped. But like, it just gives the skin, you see, like such a really smooth finish. And like something about the puff just really pushes the foundation in the skin. And I feel like also helps pick up any excess product or foundation so the skin doesn't look too heavy. And are you guys ready for this? For once, I've been using a powder that isn't the Coty Airspun. come a long way. So to set my under eyes and brighten and bake, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D translucent powder. Now I love how brightening this powder is, and for under the eyes I prefer this one because I feel like it's not as drying as the Laura Mercier one is. So the Laura Mercier one I like all over because it'll just, again, keep everything in place all day. It is nice and mattifying, so nothing is going to budge. But for under my eyes, sometimes it can be like too drying. This one is not like this here. And I also like how brightening this one. I'm also going to use some of that shadow with the sharp edge to just clean up the ends of my eyeshadow. Alright, and then to contour, I'm just taking my Too Faced bronzing powder. And this I only use down my nose, just because it's not super warm. And I like doing it while the powder is still there. That way when I sweep it away, it'll kind of blend it all. To bronze my actual face, I'm using the MAC Give Me Some bronzer. I hit pan on this, so I need to pick up this and some more Fix Plus because these are two products I can't be out of. And the brush that I have been loving with this bronzer is the JH02. Now, like, I literally recently found this brush the other day and I was like, ooh, I haven't played with that one. That looks like a good bronzing brush. And now I can't put it down. Like, it just blends everything so smooth, gives a good just all over warmth, and it really packs it on. So I don't have to like keep dipping back for more product. So I'm just gonna press it along my cheek. And I've been needing a good all over bronze because it's been cold outside here in Florida. Like, Florida's playing with us. So I haven't been able to like get any sun. Haven't like gone to the beach or anything in a minute or gone by the pool, so my skin is looking pretty fair. So this is definitely helping just really pack on that bronzer and give me that all over warmth that Lord knows I need. Looking cute. This is the Kat Von D powder. I'm just going to stamp it. Now this isn't my everyday makeup, but today I just feel like being super extra for work, and I can because that's the kind of job I have. I'm gonna sweep the powder under my eyes away, but I'm gonna leave the bake under my bronzer real quick. And again, I just like taking that powder and kind of blending it into the nose contour. For blush, the blush that I've been using the most lately, so I've been loving the shade Peaches. It's like the perfect, just warm peach. So I've been kind of like dipping into these two because they're opposite undertones, so it like balances it. And this is Desert Rose by MAC. I go a little bit more in on the peaches and just like a light boop into the Desert Rose. And it just gives the perfect flush on the cheek. So I'm just gonna bring it up in this region and then follow it along the contour. So now the skin is looking extra matte right now. So if I were to go in with my highlight now, it would just go on super patchy. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face with some Fix Plus and then go in with my highlight. And then, no, I really need more. All right, so the highlights I've been loving the most lately are my MAC Hyper Real highlight palette and then the ColourPop Super Shock highlight in Wisp. It's like a gorgeous champagne color. I feel like this would go more with the look, but I haven't showed you guys this one on camera, so I think I'll just make this one work. Had it here. And around this area. And then I love the color of this one because it kind of blends in with my natural undertone, so it's not like too bright to where it just looks like a streak. It still gives me that kind of like glow. Then for my nose highlight, I love the Charlotte Tilbury Bar of Gold palette, but I love using this light kind of like white gold just on like the tip of my nose and down the bridge. It's like the perfect nose highlight. And then taking any shimmery light color, I'm just taking this one because it's right in front, and just lightly putting that under the highest point of my brow. Also some of this down the center, just to brighten it up a little bit. I'm gonna take some more of that yellow pigment that we used in that inner. To be honest, lately it hasn't mattered what eyeshadow I've done. I've loved using Uninterrupted, the MAC shadow for my lower lash line kind of blowout shade. So I'm gonna use it again because I obviously use it in my crease, but like I said, even if not, I just love the undertone on the lower lash line. It just really makes the eyes pop. So I'm just taking that with a pencil brush and just stamping it. And just kind of blending it lightly. Next, I'm just taking that black shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette with like a tiny little angled brush. Just stamping that along my lash line and then angling it up toward those upper shadows. Like so. Just to kind of tie in the smokiness from the top lash line down to the bottom. And then taking the pencil brush once again, I'm just gonna blend out those edges. All right, and I have been loving these ColourPop cream gel liners. They're so creamy, they stay on all day. I picked up like probably 5 colors. I have like a darker purple, a brighter purple, a fuchsia. But today I wanna play with one of these greens. Now these, no joke, they stick to the waterline and stay there all day. Like they do not budge at all. And I feel like it's really hard to find shadows that actually stick to the waterline and stay there and don't just kind of only cling to the lash line. These are amazing. So I can't decide if I want to do the darker green and just give like a subtle pop or the brighter green. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the darker green because I don't want it to take away too much from like these pretty lid colors. So I'm just going to, like, do you see how much it just clings in there? So pretty. Oh, they're so pretty. All right, so I'm just gonna pop on some mascara before my lashes. And for lashes today, I'm gonna be using the Lily Lashes in Mykonos. These are gorgeous. I held off on purchasing them for a while, but they really do make such a difference. I've never seen lashes so fluffy and just so gorgeous. And I like how these are that full dramatic look. The lash band is thicker, but it's flexible, which is great because I feel like a lot of times those really thick lashes have like those stiff lash bands. It makes it impossible to put on, and it also makes it really like uncomfortable on the eye. These are really comfortable and I just love them. I love them. So real quick, when my glue dries, I'm just gonna do lips really quick. So for lip pencil, I'm gonna be using the Cork lip pencil by MAC. This is like one of my favorite browns. It's so gorgeous. It's such like a warm, just pretty brown. If you don't have this pencil, go get it. It looks good with so many lip colors, and I feel like no brand really has an undertone like that. It's just gorgeous. And then for lipstick, I'll be using Taunt by Morphe. This is like one of my favorite, just warm brown. Now the lip pencil, as you can see, goes on really dark, but I obviously blend it together with the liquid lip. And if you want super luscious glossy lips, this is my favorite. It's by Ulta Beauty, and it's the Juice Infused Lip Oil. It's not sticky. It leaves your lips looking super wet and just full and plump. And I love this because it also looks really pretty on bare lips. I got it in the shade Cranberry Pomegranate, and as you can see, it has that red tint. So when you put it on bare lips, it gives like a beautiful tint, but then just a wash of just glossy goodness. Love this. So I'm gonna do Light Sweet just to give a little gloss. Do you guys see that? Do you guys see that? And it smells like gummy bears. So you guys see how gorgeous these lashes are and how much they just like open up the look. I'm gonna take my hair out of this braid, do it, get dressed, and I'll be right back to film my outro. Now, in case you guys are wondering, this is how I like style my hair every day. I just braid it and then curl the front pieces, and it looks like I tried, but really I didn't try it. All right guys, so I curled a couple front pieces in my hair so I didn't look absolutely crazy, but this is the completed look. I'm really happy with how it came out. Like, I feel super glam. I'm gonna feel super good at work today. But yeah, I really hope that you guys just enjoyed hanging out with me, getting ready with me, and getting to know some of my favorite products. If you guys did happen to enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button too while you're here. I upload every Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. And I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!